our first episode of the Video Game Theory podcast that I will be calling Video Games Unplugged. I am your host, Connor, and with me today I have a special guest by the name of Drew. And to keep our identity secret, we will not be saying our last names. So, in case you're wondering, that's why. Today we're going to be talking about a game near and dear to our hearts, as we've grown up on it pretty much since I've known him and he's known me. So first I will give the mic over to him so he can explain a little bit about himself.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Now, could you please just give us a little background on the game that we're talking about today and your history behind it all?
Well, we've been talking about Super Smash Brothers.
Okay. And what kind of relationship do you have with it today?
Let's just say when I first got my N64 way back in the day, let's just say this was the time during game rentals were the constant way to play games. But I just saw this game and I was like, hey, let's grab it, pick it up. So I popped it in, and now I was young, so I couldn't read. So I didn't know who, and plus I didn't know half these characters were. So for the longest time, I thought Link's name was actually Lee, because that's the way the announcer pronounces it.
Huh. Well, that's just a sharpening blow to the Legend of Zelda franchise. And I'm pretty sure you just made every single Zelda fan groan.
Oh, and I'm gonna make even more. And you see, this is before the internet too, pretty much, or it was just beginning, so for the longest time, me and my friend and my sister thought Samus was a he.
Well, see, that was a little understandable, because it wasn't really until about Metroid Prime where people knew she was female. That was like the definitive time where, like, unless you put in the special code into Metroid, which I can't name it off the top of my head, I believe it was Ripley?
No, I think it's Justin Bailey or something.
Yeah,
like
Justin
that.
Bailey.
But then again, like, if you seriously go on the internet, you will find like hundreds of codes that aren't Justin Bailey to do that code. But we're getting really off topic, aren't we?
Yeah, just a little bit. But I mean, she's still a part of Super Smash Brothers, and same with Link. So that's a perfect segue. Oh, sorry about that. We'll refer to him as Lee from now on, if you feel so comfortable.
No, I'm just being a jerk.
Oh, that's nice to know. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about Super Smash Brothers, like my friend Drew here has said, and we're going to be talking about the theory behind the games and the fact that the creator, whose name is Masahiro Sakurai, and I apologize if I butchered it.
No, that was pretty on par with how to actually pronounce it.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. So yeah, we're going to be talking about how essentially this game series is his love child, and that essentially each game's progression has gotten darker and darker to the point where there are theories speculating that the games are designed as his life, essentially. Because the first game starts off in a little boy's bedroom, as most people are speculating, and he's playing with little plush toys, and then as the series goes on, the plushes evolve into statues, which evolve into trophies, which have now evolved into amiibo figures, which you can go pick up at any video game retailer for $12.99.
Let's not talk about amiibos right now, please.
Well, we have to talk about some kind of amiibo functionality with this podcast.
No, we don't.
Do we not? You're right. But it is related to Smash, so there's a shameless plug right there.
Go buy Smash Brothers.
Yes, actually take his advice. The games are fantastic. And I mean, if you can pick up either a Wii U or a 3DS, you can pick up one of the definitive versions of the game. But now we're getting a little off topic here, yet again. So, I just want to quickly get your quick thoughts on this idea that the games are essentially his life growing up, and how each installment has further and further gone into essentially his psyche and just essentially his understanding, or our understanding that we can get saying that it's essentially his love child and he doesn't want to give it away.
Yeah, it's really understandable too, because you can just see it with the games, although it is funny about Master Hand, the final boss, because at first, me and my friend and my sister, we were just thought like, oh, it's just generic, final boss. And then it's funny, even as kids, we started to realize it's like, wait, maybe Master Hand is the player of the game.
Although I never even thought of that one too. But again, in the next installment, we were introduced to Crazy Hand, which through his trophy, or I guess his statue description,
it's a trophy.
Might as well just call it a trophy.
Yeah.
They say that the Crazy Hand is the embodiment of destruction. That's all he wants, is to destroy things. Meanwhile, the Master Hand is the embodiment of creativity. So, kinda seems weird to have a player that wants to destroy and create at the same time.
Also, it's kind of funny that you do mention Melee a bit and how the destroy, because here's something really funny as well that also could somewhat simulate as to growing up, too.
Yeah.
The first Smash Brothers game was rated E.
Yeah.
Melee was T.
Rated T, yeah.
Brawl, T. And then we've got the newest one, Smash for Wii U, 3DS. Yes, that 4 in there is the number actually. E10. So it's like the middle ground. Kind of a bit.
Okay. Well, that's a nice analogy.
Kind of like it's kind of like that growing up. It's like growing up, it's the original. Then you have Melee, T, Brawl, T, and then you just basically just have the new one, E10, which is kind of just accepting the middle ground. Like, like this is what it is now.
Okay. So I hate to cut it a little short right now, but we need to go quickly to our lovely messages, and so we'll be back very shortly. Now here is a message from our sponsors. Do you love Nintendo, and do you want to give them buttloads of your money? Well, head on down to your local video game retailer and purchase the new Amiibo lineup today for only $12.99. Experience extra content and little goodies in your games, or scan them into Super Smash Bros. And train them to be the best fighter in the world, while supplies last. I am your host, Connor, and with me I have a special guest that has the name of Drew. And in case you are just tuning in right now, although I don't see why not considering this is a podcast, we've just been recently talking about Super Smash Bros. And the big theory going on right now about how the games are essentially the love child of the creator Masahiro Sakurai, and how he doesn't want to get rid of these games as they are pretty much his life growing up. And I'll give it to Drew in case he has any questions or thoughts that he wants to say right now.
Yeah, the whole Master Hand, Crazy Hand thing, it makes sense because, again, he stated himself saying, like, he does not like to do sequels at all.
Yeah.
At all, but that whole thing about taboo, though, I kind of have a different interpretation of taboo, essentially.
Okay. But first, before we go on that, and I apologize for interrupting, but could you explain the taboo thing in case people aren't familiar with it?
Well, basically, in the third installment, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, there was a little story mode which actually had no dialogue whatsoever, but they made it work, actually. But basically, the gist of it is that basically the villains of the games, so like Bowser, Ganondorf, are presumably working for Master Hand, turning everybody back into the trophies. However, it's later revealed that Master Hand isn't pulling the strings behind this. It's actually this weird guy who looks like he's just a bald guy in a straitjacket.
Yeah.
Named Taboo, who is actually controlling Master Hand. Now, the thing is that since he's controlling Master Hand, who at this point, let's just say, is Sakurai himself,
yeah, okay.
He's supposed to represent. Now, the theory states that Taboo is society saying, you're not supposed to be doing this, you're not supposed to be doing this. Okay.
Like playing with toys, right?
Yeah, playing with toys, the whole video game aspects. I mean, this whole video game is for kids is that's somewhat true, but at the same time, At the same time, though, people have to create these games, regardless of age. People are going to be creating these games, regardless of how old they are.
Yeah.
Except, so, the theory states that Taboo is society, you know, kind of saying to Sakurai, like, what are you doing, what are you doing? I have a different interpretation of it.
Okay.
You see, Sakurai says that Melee was supposed to be the last one. I mean, he said Brawl was supposed to be the last one too. But here's what's interesting. Maybe Taboo isn't society, but now this is going into like really dark territory here.
By all means, this is what the show's all about.
What if, though, Taboo is Nintendo itself, saying, you're going to create these games whether you like it or not?
Well, that's interesting, actually. I don't think anybody's actually really thought of that. Huh.
No, because I mean, when you first see that Taboo in the game, in the cutscene, you first see Master Hand. Then you see Taboo show up, and you see chains attached to Master Hand. And it follows the chains up to Taboo, who's basically got Master Hand chained, saying, you're gonna do my work. Whether you like it or not, you're doing my work.
Okay. Yeah, no, I never actually thought of it that way. From the research that I've done, it's pretty much, they've all just pretty much said that Taboo is society just basically shutting down Master Hand for playing with toys, saying you're an adult now, you shouldn't be doing that, but never actually thought of it that way.
But you see, with the way the game's story set up, it would seem more or less that, with that idea, it would seem more or less like there'd be some sort of villain battle going on as in Master Hand's fighting against Taboo, saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Whereas it's the exact opposite, it's Taboo telling Master Hand, you're doing this whether you like it or not. I own you. You know, it's a whole that sort of thing.
Okay. I could see that, yeah. I mean, it is explanatory, and I mean, it's all just a theory. A game theory, after all. Yes, I had to put that in there.
So we're just going to blatantly say, we're ripping off game theory and we know it?
Oh, not quite.
No.
We're essentially just talking about our feelings here on this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's actually it's a pretty good thinker. Thinker from your thunker.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what do you think about the latest installment and how they introduced another new boss character called the Master Core?
Well, first off, really hard battle, like...
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like somebody turned the difficulty. How can we make this even more difficult?
We turned it up to 11.
Mm-hmm. Although, surprisingly enough though, for some strange reason I find it... Because when you fight Master Core beforehand, you have to fight Master Hand and Crazy Hand at the same time.
Yeah.
And then once their HP gets a certain level, then Master Core breaks out of Master Hand, and you do the fight that way. I'm just going to go on the record right now and say I find it actually harder to get rid of all the HP of Master Hand and Crazy Hand than it is to fight Master Core.
Yeah. My apologies.
But basically Master Core comes out and it's just this little ball with the Smash logo on it. And then it basically just goes into all these different forms until it finally just sits there as the little ball itself, and you basically it doesn't do anything, it just stands there in the center, and then you basically just knock it off.
Yeah. You essentially just beat it to a pulp until it goes flying off the stage.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, out of the one theory based on this part, I haven't found much of anything else. They say that it's pretty much just Sakurai's mind giving in to essentially that idea that you said that Taboo is actually Nintendo, and it's him conforming to the fact that he hates sequels, but he would hate to see this franchise go into any other direction. So it's essentially just him giving up all hope and essentially going into a lose-lose situation, where if he decides to leave, his creation has to go to somebody else, which he doesn't like seeing. but at the same time, if he continues to do it, he's going to be putting more and more strain on himself. And if I'm not mistaken, this last installment of the game really took a toll on him. He was hospitalized for a week, wasn't he?
Yeah, I've heard many horror stories about just him and working on just any Smash game in general. It's like, you know, for some strange reason, I think when it comes to developing Smash, that little part of his brain that tells him to stop right now kind of just shuts off.
Yeah.
Because apparently he now, I could be mistaken, he has like permanent wrist problems or something from all the coding and whatnot that he had to do.
Possibly, I don't know. I haven't looked too much into this.
Yeah, neither have I. I just like remember hearing somewhere that he has like a permanent wrist problem now or something. Or he's got a really bad problem with one of his joints.
Yeah. Okay. So, I will plague you with one more question before we end off this session tonight. But first, it comes to that time of the evening again, where we must sign off for a little bit and play some messages from our sponsors. Do you love Nintendo? And do you want to give them buttloads of your money? Well, head on down to your local video game retailer and purchase the new Amiibo lineup today for only $12.99. Experience extra content and little goodies in your games, or scan them into Super Smash Bros. And train them to be the best fighter in the world, while supplies last. What a lovely remix by Barzoom. Credits to him and the Newgrounds community for coming up with this amazing rendition of the latest Smash Bros. Theme, and I hope all you listeners have enjoyed it as well. Well, during this nice and lovely commercial break, I plagued Drew with a question which I hope he has thought really long and hard about, because it's super hard, super intense, really heavy question. It was all a lie. I didn't tell him anything. This is the first time he's going to hear this question. Do you think...
Wait, just one question. Wait. Is there going to be cake at the end?
No, because the cake is a lie. Do I hint at another episode? Maybe. Maybe not.
Why Val can't count to 3?
Oh, that would be... We'd have to count, or we'd have to go to 2.99 days for that one. Because you know they can't count to 3.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so this is the first time he's actually hearing this question. And I just wanted to know his opinions on pretty much everything that we've talked about tonight. We've pretty much said that the Super Smash Bros. Series is essentially the life of Sakurai growing up as a video game developer. So if I'm not mistaken, he was 19 when he created his first video game character, Kirby, back on the NES days.
Kirby, I don't think Kirby was on the NES. Yeah. I believe his first appearance was on the Game Boy.
Yeah, it was on the Game Boy.
The old school Game Boy.
Before there was even color.
As in, I'm not too sure if you guys know this, and this is going to slightly off topic, but as in the Game Boy that survived the bomb blast during the Cold War.
Yeah. Man, that thing is a tank. Excuse me.
And just to clarify about that Game Boy, by the way, when we say survived, it literally still functions.
Yep. If I'm not mistaken, it's still at the Nintendo World Store, too.
Yeah, I believe so. It's on there on display.
I think so. But anyway, we're getting off topic again, my good sir. Yeah. So essentially we were talking about how, like I said earlier, the Super Smash Bros. Series is Sakurai growing up. Like we said, his first ever video game character he created was at the age of 19, and that was Kirby. Now, when the N64 came out, he created Super Smash Bros., which actually wasn't a Super Smash Bros. Game to begin with. Little fun fact trivia for you. But we're going a little off topic again, and I apologize.
Not that off topic, because it's still Smash Brothers related.
Yeah, but yeah, essentially the Super Smash Brothers series is him growing up, and each installment has become a little more mature up until this recent installment, which is a little more lighthearted, and it pretty much the game symbolizes his
conforming, I guess, would be the correct.
Yeah, conforming to Nintendo and saying pretty much, okay, I will continue this series as much as I hate it.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to see this going to anybody else, because I know they will not do this justice. And that's where I bring this question, that do you think, as a video game developer, that it's tasking on them, that like building a game that you're super passionate about can really take not only a toll on you mentally, especially if people don't like the game and you're hearing all this bad negative attention about it, that it hurts and it takes a physical toll on you, not only mentally, but it can physically too. And I just wanted to know if you would agree with that.
To some extent, maybe. And at the same time, that part of the brain, as I said earlier, it seems like when he's making these games, that part of the brain in Sakurai that says, you need to stop now, just shuts off. It's like, no, I'm going to work on this game, whether you like it or not, body.
Yeah. So he's essentially conforming with himself, too, by what you're saying there.
Well, it's not
saying, like...
it's more like his brain saying stop, but is like, this is going to sound cheesy as all hell, but his heart and soul is saying, no, must keep going.
So do you think that he's going to literally kill himself by the time he creates the next installment?
I don't know.
Because I know with this latest one he signed on Namco as well to help create the game, so obviously it's taking a massive toll on him as is, like needing outside assistance in developing the games.
Yeah, well, I think also that was maybe to get a studio that kind of could run an online service for fighting games a bit better, because let's be honest here for a second, and this is like a topic, but that Brawl Online compared to Smash 4 Online, huge improvement.
Oh, big time. Even the 3DS is a big improvement. Excuse me. Yeah, I really don't have much else to say on the topic. I personally think it does take a massive toll on him, and especially after Brawl, where a lot of people didn't like it, and he pretty much had to go straight to square one again on the development of this new game, signing on a new team to help develop it, and pretty much get everything right.
But unfortunately, no way dashing or L canceling, wrong, all wrong.
You melee elitist.
And yeah, I don't think these people who want the Melee elitists, but this is going slightly off topic again, who want Melee 2.0, you already have Melee 2.0. It's just, here's the thing, your wave dashing that you cherish so much, that's kind of a glitch and an exploit. And kind of the job of any development team when a glitch is found is, if you're going to make another version of it,
Fix it.
Which
is what they did, but then they included tripping.
And then we have Smash 4, no tripping, but unfortunately, well, depending on who you are, no wave dashing or apple canceling.
Yeah.
Still.
Excuse me again. Yeah. I really don't have much else to say on the topic matter right now. But I personally do think that these games are taking a toll on him, and
they are. I mean, it's really, like, the problem with Smash, I think, also is it's a huge, like, fan service, love letter crossover game with all these Nintendo characters, and then since Brawl, you got the third party now. And I also think a problem is you have to listen to fans who constantly want the stupidest characters who have absolutely no reason to be in this game ever.
I know you're taking a jab at Ridley, and I still disagree with you.
I'm not taking a jab at Ridley. No. I'm taking a jab at the people who like Goku, Naruto, and Shrek.
But Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Let's just get away from that.
Well, as it's this new installment, you can technically put them in there using the new Mii characters.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not the same.
No.
Alright. Well, it was a pleasure having you on, Mr. Drew. And until next time, I bid you a farewell. Any last words?
Yes. I'm really feeling it!
And that's our show for the evening. Take care, enjoy yourselves, and until next time, keep on smashing.